So I just wanted to do this video to show the similarities of my targeting to what happened with Myron Mays. Okay, I don't know if I've covered uh, this part as far as like what happened and how I got my kids out of foster care, but I'm covering it again. All right, so we all know Myron Mays was trying to get a child who was in foster care out of a situation which was consist of pedophile ring. All right, and that's when they ended up targeting him, uh, hitting him with direct energy weapons, um, you know, all that type of stuff, right? Anyhow, so my situation is also similar to that. Um, a lot of my targeting uh, didn't take off, especially as far as the V2K and the hive mind stuff. I mean, it was already going on, but it wasn't so severe as far as I can think. So whenever this issue occurred, when I had to go in front of the courts, okay, this is the state of Tennessee, Hamilton County Juvenile Courts. This is a document of me getting custody, full custody, dated March 5th, 2014. Magistrate Chris Gott. These are the petition numbers right here. Okay. These are the children. Okay. So there's another child, but that's not my child. But these two are mine. All right. And as it states here, finding and recommendations of the magistrate, this matter is before the court for review of child neglect. Petition number 249-897-294-899 and 249-900 filed by the Department of Children Services. Okay? DCS, this is Crystal Morris. DCS reported that Malachi and Micah were placed on trial home visits with their father, Michael Moore. That is me, okay? And for people who don't think that's me, I'll just show you. Okay? So, people who don't think that's me, I'll just show you. But this is me. Okay? If you look, that's me right there. That's me right there. Michael Moore. That's me. Okay? Anyhow, and it states, on December the 5th, 2013. So just like I said, a lot of stuff had been happening around 2011, 2012. They are doing well and making progress in the home. DCS is recommending that Malachi and Micah be placed in the custody of Mr. Moore. Attorney Rachel White, guardian aide Letman, stated that she had no concern with the children being placed in the custody of their father. Okay? So, like I said, all of this stuff started happening. It's been going on. But once I won that case, everything ramped up really, really bad. As far as the V2K, the tags, people following me around, because they got to try to make this mental thing, they got to make it to where I'm just this mental person, Now, if I was such a mental person, how in the hell would the state gives me full custody of some kids. You know how? Because the state, they pretty much knew what was going to happen. Like I told you guys before, the boys was in a foster care home, and those people was really weird, man. Like from day one, they was acting weird. I was like, what's wrong with them? They was ice grilling me, you know, uh, you know what I'm saying? The foster mother, she lied on me and tried to make me and the husband get into a verbal altercation about my son. Uh, my son came home one weekend prior to me getting full custody, and I think he was like, they was born in '09, so this was in, he had to be about 3 or 4. You know, this is before I actually got those papers that I just showed you guys. But he jumped off the top bunk. You know, I don't know if it's because he was watching, they used to watch this movie called Rio. It was about these birds and stuff, about a bunch of birds flying around and stuff. You know what I mean? So, like I said, he jumped off the top bunk like a bird and fell and chipped his tooth. But the foster mother, whenever my son went back for after the weekend with me, they went back to the foster home, and I used to have to take them back miles away. You know, I had to drive miles away, take them back. I get there, drop them off. My son's crying when they see the father, the foster parent, the dad. And they was little bitty kids, so I could tell, you know, pretty much if a child starts crying when they see a certain adult, that adult is neglecting that child, and that child has a memory of that adult whenever they see that person's face that causes them to cry. So now I'm pissed because I'm thinking these people are here to help my kids, but that doesn't seem the case. Didn't seem like the case. And like I said, I don't know anything about Myron Mays at the moment. I didn't know anything about targeting. I didn't know anything about gang stalking. I didn't know anything about contractors to, you know, they try to get that mental diagnosis out of you or make you do something. Knew nothing about that. I just had this intuition that was telling me something's not right about this guy or his wife. I knew when I first seen her because she was just sitting there staring at me, and I'm like, why is she just sitting here staring at me? You know? Not speaking, just a real grimacing stare, evil stare. And anyhow, where was I at? Oh yeah, she called me on the phone and accused me of chipping my son's tooth. Said that I punched my son in the mouth. It said that my son told her that. And I said, lady, you crazy, you know. What do I look like? I am 5'8", 200 pounds. At the time, I was, you know, a little bit more healthier and a little bit more stronger, you know, because this stuff been beating my body up. But if I punched my son in the mouth, I would have knocked him out and probably knocked out all of his teeth. You know what I mean? You know, that's just, you know. And I'm like, come on, lady, are you kidding me? You think I did that? And she said, yeah, you did it because he told me. And she tries to tell me, I said, well, you lying. You know, I said, my son didn't tell you that. And I cannot make this up. That lady told me flat out, she said, I don't give a fuck about your kids. My kids is at her house at the time she told me this. And I'm like, wow, so you just told me that over the phone and told me that, she said, my husband's going to be calling you because you called me a liar. So this is how they do, it's theater. So they have to create a situation so they can bring a solution, okay? And that was the situation. Whether he was being, you know, this mind control stuff is trauma-based. So once they traumatize you, they can mind control you. You know, I see it all the time with my current kids. You know, they shocking them and doing stuff like that. So it's just to make them more accessible to the mind control. So the name of the game is trauma-based mind control. So they were being traumatized in the foster care home prior to coming to my house. And then once they come to my house, they're able to be mind controlled to do things like jump off the bed like a bird. You see what I'm saying? Because I saw him when he did it, and I mean, he just had this blank stare on his face, kind of like I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie The Omen. It's an old movie, but this kid, he was evil, and he just had the other kids. He would mind control them and have them kill themselves and stuff like that. Kind of like that. I mean, he just had this blank stare on his face and just jumped straight off the bed on the floor. I'm watching him. I couldn't run to catch him in time, and he just hit the ground. And I said, "Wow, why did he just do that?" You know, I'm thinking it's just a dumb decision, you know, that a little child can make. You know, little kids make bad choices. You know, they minds not developed yet, and I think that's the reason why he did that. You know, it was for them to use that against me to make it to where I wouldn't get them back, and I still ended up getting them back because immediately after I got off the phone with her, I called the it's like a little division. It was called Omnivision, and it was the guy who used to meet me halfway with the kids if I didn't have gas to actually make it to them because they were like I think 2 cities away from where my hometown was, so I used to have to drive to them. So the guy would make it easier for me, and he would sometimes bring them to me to the point to where I wouldn't have to use all my gas up every time. But yeah, that's what happened. You know, and it's like these people in these foster homes and these caseworkers and things. Like even with that caseworker name that I just showed you on that document, I recall her. Now that I look back and I know what gang stalking is, I kept seeing her popping up in different places along the city after I had got the kids. And she had that evil look in her face. That same evil look. And this is the lady who's supposed to be helping me get my kids back. You know, her name is on this document. And I actually used her for a reference several times on jobs after the fact, you know? Didn't think nothing of it. You know, but now that I know this stuff and I'm looking at all this stuff, these people were doing this the whole time. You know, and it's all these different groups, you know, of people who are they are aware of this mind control stuff, and they're just lying. They're lying. They keep lying. You know, they don't want to tell the truth. I think I just watched one video on YouTube about transhumanism. This guy's the only one that has told the truth so far, but he's being so cruel and you know just he's talking like, oh, you know, we can hack millions of people at a time. Matter of fact, I'll just let y'all look at a little bit of it, but it's on the gang stalking attention awareness channel. So now if I just put the link in the video, I'll put the link to his video in my video. But this guy says, you know, we're not talking about no God above the clouds, and you know, he just basically saying we can't hack humans. This guy right here, we can hack humans. We can hack humans. Okay, that's what this guy says. Gang stalking awareness channel. So this is what they did with my boy. You know, that's why I feel like he jumped off that bed like that. You know what I'm saying? And along with me, a couple things that I started doing after the fact, you know, prior to me winning custody, I kept having bad things like bad little incidents happening. And I was like, man, you know, what's going on with me? Why am I keep having all these different occurrences where I'm saying things that I don't want to say? You know, I was speaking words out of my mouth that were no good, and it just didn't sound like nothing that I would want to say, but I was saying it. And I'm like, well, how am I talking like this? You know, doing all type of little stupid, you know, making stupid decisions. And I was like, why am I making these type of choices? This has never been me. You know, this has never been me. And it's these people the whole time, you know? It's these people that were trying to make it harder for me to actually fall through and get the boys out of there because the way I'm looking at it, they wanted them to be there so they can do whatever, you know, God knows what, you know, but uh, yeah, these people are wicked as hell. These are the wicked that the scriptures talk about. You know, it doesn't matter what this guy says. It ain't, you know, because he's basically saying that there's no God, you know, and all that type of talk that these jokers got coming out their mouth. God is definitely gonna hold them accountable for all of that, you know. And these ones right here, these are the ones who are, uh, they're gonna actually bring King Jesus back because they're violating God's blueprints and they're changing to transhumanism. And this is what his whole speech was about. And, you know, you can go check it out for yourself. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link in the video, and you can check it out. But yeah, that's what's going on, and you know, it's all this trauma-based mind control going on. You know, that was the whole reason for the COVID. The COVID, like I said before, was nothing but a big ass trauma-based mind control experiment. You know, traumatized the whole world, and at the same time, they have the hive mind stand next door to, you know, the potential people who uh, is not getting with the program. You know, they got them all around us, and you know, that was traumatizing to have thoughts every day that, oh, I can possibly catch the COVID and I might die. You know, what about my kids? You know, what about my wife and all this stuff? That's all that was about. That's all that was about. It's a big mind fuck. You know, that was the whole thing. You know, and even in his video, he said, out of his mouth, he said, uh, what's the use of wasting a good crisis? So they're making crisis events, okay? They're making them. They're not. It's not just happening. They're making these events, and they're bringing a solution, which the solution is for the benefit of transhumanism. Okay, like I said, you can watch this video yourself, and you will see exactly what I'm trying to say. You know, I might not. Yeah, never waste a good crisis. Yeah, that's what the Joker said out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that's really weird that he said that. You know, I find it really weird that he said that. Never waste a good crisis. Anyhow, uh, I just wanted to bust up on here and say that, you know, the same situation. It's just all these different stories that I'm looking at, and I'm seeing similarities, like the whole thing with the Myron Mays. I heard that he was a caseworker, but I didn't know that he had that situation where he was trying to get that kid out of that foster home. You know, but when I heard that he was a caseworker, I already knew because he was working with the state. And I said, yeah, somebody at that state building, he done ticked them off and they done that to him. You know, but I didn't know that he was actually trying to get a child out of a foster home where there was pedophiles at. And the crazy part of it is, that's what these people like to try to say about majority of us. It's mainly the guys. They love to call us pedophiles, gays, you know, abusers of women, all that stuff. But if anyone has done any of that shit, it's behavior modification anyway. You know, the scriptures tell you that there's redemption for anyone, and all you have to do is repent and believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. That's all you gotta do. all that, even for the things that I know that they've manipulated me for, I still feel sorrow for those things because it still happened, you know. But let's see. Hold on one second. So this is what they've been doing. This is behavior modification tactics. So these people right here, this is a gang stalking awareness also. But this is what they've been doing. If you can check that out yourself. See that?
Creating sexual deviance and even program a victim into a suicidal,
They
self-destructive.
creating this stuff. They manipulating your mind.
Creating sexual deviance and even program a victim into a suicidal, self-destruct mode known as omega programming.
See what I'm saying? And you see these black people killing themselves a lot lately, which was unheard of years ago, you know, because we already had went through so much. You know, you had the slavery stuff going on, racism, all that. Nobody wasn't killing themselves. Not no black people wasn't, you know. But every time you turn around, it's some black dude done killed this wife or killed this baby mama, killed the mama's killing the kids. You know, all these weird ass stories that never used to happen when I was growing up. And if you go back and look, these people had perfected this stuff around the 1950s, and it went up for testing. And I think this video says that it went up for testing around the 1950s. At the end of this video, it tells you that. I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was this one. And then this is like the stuff they be doing when we were sleeping. Let's see, hold up. Yeah, mass testing. Mass testing of sound spectrums began testing 1950. Look at that. They've been doing this the whole time. So, like I said before, this is Satan's kingdom, the satanic kingdom, and his army, and this is what they're doing. They trying to get all the satanic people they can on their side, and if you ain't with that, you got to go. That's just all it is to it. But yet still, you know, this guy in the video that I showed you, the bald head guy that was in the first video that I was showing you guys, he can acknowledge the fact that, you know, he can talk about God and all that stuff, but he won't acknowledge the power that God has. You want to be able to control millions of people. God controls the whole world, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you don't understand. And he tells you in the scriptures that he's going to put the wise things of the world to shame. It tells you that. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can find it. Here it is right here. This is Corinthians, 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians says, but God has chosen the foolish things of the world to confine the wise, and God has chosen the weak things of the world to confine the things which are mighty. Okay? So all of that, oh, we gonna, we control millions of people and all this. Man, it can get to the point to where you think you controlling these people like they thought they was controlling us, and God take over and have them confused and looking stupid, because that's exactly what happened when they tried to take me out. These people, I heard them come out their own mouth, which was through the telepathy. I hit the ground, I don't know, whatever it was, I got really hot and I passed out. And I woke up and they said, did you see that? They was astonished, It wasn't like the everyday cussing me out like they do in my V2K. It was they was astonished like something happened that wasn't supposed to happen. And they said, did you see that? He got up like it wasn't nothing. It took all my power away. And then the other one said, yeah, I saw that. I saw that. And somebody said, don't worry, it's gonna come back to us. So that's when I knew I was dealing with like we, us, words like that lets me know I'm dealing with a group of people, a gang of people. And that's what they said. And I said, well, who is this talking? You know, I couldn't see no one. You know, and I was like, man, somebody just said something about some power and all this stuff, right? And that's now that I look back at it, that power was mind control, and they had already had me under it. They was using me. You feel me? They was using me, and that was the way that they was trying to take me down. You know, but yeah, you know, he's gonna definitely all the little scientific mess they doing ain't gonna matter. Yeah, I know, bro. What's up with you, bro? I tried to find your channel. This is a God strengthen me. I tried to find your channel, but I can't find your channel. But man, V2K is just really just them trying to uh, get a mental diagnosis out of you. So it's somebody close to you that wants you to be crazy. You feel me? Somebody that wants you to be crazy. So they can either, I don't know if you got kids or maybe you got some parents or something that don't treat you well, because parents doing this to their kids too. Uh, you know, because you got to think about it. When you're targeted, what they do is they find out everybody who knows you, your parents, your brother, your sister, your friends, relatives, and they go and get all of them on board with what's going on with you, your spouse, everybody, your neighbors, people you ain't seen in 10, 15 years will be in on it, you know? So that's what that is. So if you receiving V2K, you're most likely a strong person and they couldn't get you any other kind of way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's somebody who knows you, because you gotta ask yourself. And when you look at these targeted individual videos, you know, I ask myself this all the time. Why is it that we don't have a lot of support from our families? And I mean, the most common sense answer is because they either don't know about it or they're complicit to it. And I have found it to be almost 99% of the time that they know about it and they're complicit with it, because they love their lives. And when I say they love their lives, they don't want it to happen to them. Okay? And that's scriptural also. So everything that's going on is scriptural right now. You know what I'm saying? And uh, they don't want that stuff happening to them. So that's why they would allow it to happen to you and sacrifice. They pretty much sacrifice you. Yeah. Yeah, they pretty much sacrifice you so that they can have their life good. You know, they can have all the benefits of gang stalking you, uh, all the benefits that they would normally have, because this stuff causes you to not be able to have work, not be able to support your family, not be able to buy a meal. You go to a restaurant, people poisoning your food. If you frequently go to a certain place and they know it's certain things that you like at that place, they will remove it from the shelves just to bother you. Uh, I mean, everywhere you go, is somebody there to aggravate you, even at your job. So it's definitely the mark of the beast. You know, people are looking for this. If it's not the mark of the beast, it's definitely the beast system being implemented. You know, because it could be something. You know, it could be the other thing they call it, the jab. It could be that, but I know that jab is actually changing people. I know that for a fact. But anyhow, uh, yeah, they your parents and your siblings, your spouse, a lot of them they are under heavy mind control also. So I can't just say that they all know, but because even like in my situation, I can see certain things whenever the people in my household start acting a certain type of way. I can tell when it's just them being mind controlled. Like my son, he's only like 7, and he would say gaslighting things. He'll gaslight me. And I'm like, there's no way he's got a handler. There's no way that somebody called him and told him to say that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just basically that they're mind controlled and they don't know it. And the scriptures tell you that you should forgive them because they know not what they do. Okay, so if you still got your family, hang in there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just hang in there because at a certain point they're gonna script us. They're gonna script all your family members away. Because they're what they're doing is they're slowly and methodically taking little things to hurt you. Okay, so they knowing that your parents, if you feel bad and you think they traitors to you, it's gonna hurt you. So it's better to mind control you because that's traumatizing. Because it's your parents. You feel me? They've been your parents your whole life. And then up in one day it's like they turned on you. That's gonna hurt. So that's what the goal is. The goal is to hurt you, traumatize you to the point to where they can control you. You see what I'm saying? So if they can do that, then it's like, oh, we got another one. We got another one. You might flip out and hurt somebody outside or something, do something like that. But I recommend that you don't do any of those things. Just sit and wait on the Lord, because we are definitely in the end. Uh, we're definitely in the end times. All this stuff that was being said. Uh, I think it was JFK talked about they had a plan to control the whole world. That was, you know, back then. He knew what was happening then. So their time is definitely running out. That's why they keep ramping this stuff up. And as you notice, the targeting is starting to get more and more severe for all of us. So um, they're definitely ramping it up, and they're trying to uh, achieve their goal. And eventually they're gonna have to do something. Because we're already spreading awareness. We're uh, letting it be known that we know what they're doing. So what would happen to people who know what's going on and they ain't gonna get with the program if the whole world has already got with the program? They gotta take us out. That's what the scripture said that they will do, and that's what they gonna do. Okay, these jokers can take us out at the push of a button if they want to, especially if they already got our brains mapped out. They can take us out easily. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing witchcraft, but I wouldn't really just be too bothered with it. If you're a child of God, that witchcraft stuff, it ain't gonna work, man. You just gotta pray about it and don't be scared of them. You can't be scared of these people, man. And the Lord commands you to not be afraid of them. That's a part of their programming too. If you are scary and they want you to be scared of them and stuff, don't be scared of them. Share the information. You'll get burnt. You'll get burnt out about talking about all this stuff. But don't be afraid of them. Because it's witchcraft. Witchcraft. It's just somebody trying to uh, wish a negativity on your life. That's all witchcraft is. So they're praying to uh, evil spirits in the spirit realm to get you to to mess up your life. That's all that is. But if you pray about it, God always gonna make a way for you to make it through. Even when it seemed like you ain't gonna make it, you'll make it. Anyhow, let me get up off here. Like I said, I just wanted to show that document right there. Uh, I was watching another YouTuber Target video like the other day. They was talking about Myron Mays and how that stuff happened with him trying to get that kid out of that foster care system. And I just thought that was crazy because that's similar to what I have going on. Well, I had going on. I've been having my kids since 2014, but prior to that, I had already been having visitation and home visits since it took me almost 2 years to get them back. Because I had to do so much. I had to do parenting classes. I had to what else? I think I had to get my driver's license to make sure I can transport them to where they need to go. I had to get my own place and stay in my own place for 6 months to a year by myself. Just to show that I can hold down a place for them to live. I had to do alcohol anonymous classes. I had to do a lot to get them back and attend all these different court sessions and meetings. And that date on there, 2014, is when I officially got granted custody. And I think it was around 2018 by the time I started getting V2K and all the tax and stuff started happening. So between 2014 to 2018, they were doing so much stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff that happened that really is like, now that I look back on it, I'm like, this could have been what they was doing, and I just didn't notice it because I kept having workplace mobbing going on. I didn't know what workplace mobbing was at the time. It was just people showing up at my job. They was actually going through the hire process, getting a job there, coming to work there. Yeah, 2019, yeah. But yeah, they just kept on messing with me at the job, and I didn't know what was going on. I just thought I had some negative energy around me, And their goal was to try to get me fired from that job, which it eventually happened. And what I noticed was, now that I've done all of my research and stuff, I know who all of my gang stalkers were. I know what they was doing. I know what they was, what they was wishing on me. I know all of it now. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple of people that, now that I look back, I'm like, oh, that's what they were doing the whole time. I caught them saying things about me, and it really tripped me out. I'm like, wow, this is what they were doing. And I mean, I had no clue, totally clueless. But it took them like 4 years to actually achieve a lot of the brain mapping that they did. But anyhow, I'll get back with you guys later.